Guys, so people always do ask me why I build my chicken houses like this, using iron sheeting, using wooden poles. Why like this? There's certainly stronger materials. I can use bricks, I can use concrete. Those certainly do last longer. So why do I do it this way and not the more long-lasting way? Why do I build temporary buildings? Because in a few years, this is certainly going to be breaking down, or it's going to be breaking down, and then I'm going to have to rebuild again. So why not just do it once using proper strong material? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing that with you. And coincidentally, I actually do have another chicken house being built right now. So we're going to move over there to that chicken house, and I'm going to use that exact house to show you guys why I build that way and why I don't use, the stronger, more permanent material. So let's get there. So as you guys can see, this is our structure. Right over there is the rest of the farm. So that farm has 4 structures, and this is our 5th structure. It's quite some distance away, as you can see. Meanwhile, at the bottom right there, the guys are building a house, which is going to be for the staff that are going to be working this other side. Yeah, so you guys can see the structure, and you can see the material that's being used to build the structure. So we'll start from the bottom. At the bottom, we used rocks for building the foundation because this area is full of rocks. Oh my God, there's rocks everywhere. So we do have rocks, and you guys also do know that I have a goat farm somewhere on a hill that has so many rocks. So I just ferried rocks right from there. I probably need to get a truck very soon that should be helping me to ferry a lot of this material. That way I don't be wasting money on guys, transport and things like that. I'll do that at a particular point. But again, you can see the foundation was built using rock like this, and then concrete. So we poured concrete on the inside. It's a concrete floor. The next up, we do have the entire frame of the structure, and the entire frame of the structure is built using poles. So we'll probably move in so that you guys can see how the poles support the structure. So you guys can see that these poles are actually quite huge. Yeah, well, not all of them are the same size, but can you see this? This is really huge, like quite big. Yeah, some of them are a bit smaller, like this. Some are much bigger. The sizes are much, different because it's impossible for you to get the same consistent size. But what I want you to take note of is the fact that they are coming from a ground and they're coming from concrete. Okay, so they have been placed in the ground using concrete, not using soil, not using any other material. Again, you can see all of them. Yeah, all of them have been placed in a concrete floor. I do remember initially when I started out, I think with another smaller chicken house that I once built from my grandma, I used soil in the ground. So the poles were immersed in soil. And that brings in the first factor that I know a lot of people are considering, yeah? If I'm using poles, how about like the poles getting destroyed, yeah? Or getting weaker from the ground and things like that? Well, what you need to understand is that first of all, eucalyptus is hardwood, yeah? So these poles are made from eucalyptus. They're not made from, but they are eucalyptus trees. Yeah, they are not softwood, they are eucalyptus trees, so they are really strong. Yeah, so then the biggest danger to them, if they are this strong, would be either water, so they get in contact with water, and when they do come in contact with water, it becomes quite easy for them to get weak and destroyed. The second problem would be termites, and those would come and easily chew them. And then the third one would simply be, probably them not bearing the strength of the structure. So I'm going to show you how, I've dealt with each and every one of them. The first one would be the water. So as you guys can see, again, they're not in direct contact with water or moisture or things like that. So we're going to put iron sheeting on the side or all around. As you can see right here, yeah, we do have iron sheeting. So this is the side of the house. So we do have iron sheeting. So rain doesn't directly come in from the outside and come in contact with the poles in any way, yeah, it doesn't. The second thing that would certainly make them wet would be the poop and the chickens themselves, everything that's moisturous on the inside of the chicken house right here. But then that too is not a problem because the way I've done my poultry houses is that the litter is consistently dry. Now it might have a little bit of moisture, but nothing to worry about. Yeah, the litter is consistently dry, so we consistently have dry litter inside the chicken house. The guys are consistently raking it, they're consistently turning it around. We don't have the birds pouring water. Once in a while the birds will pour water, but as soon as they pour water, we remove that litter. We make sure that the place is dry. So since the litter is dry, then I mean, the posts can be supported and they will be strong. Yeah. And again, another way of, you know, preventing that is by placing them inside concrete so that they don't come into direct contact with like water. You know, if it was soil, they would consistently be in contact with water or something like that, but now they're not in contact with water because they're in concrete and the concrete has set and dried and it is strong. Okay. Now, the second thing would be termites. And when it does come to termites, I mean, I believe that's like one of the biggest factors that would determine that, because trust me, if I was in a termite infested area, there is completely no way that I would build my chicken houses like this. Yeah, there's completely no way, because termites are they're very crazy. They'll move and access the house in any way that they can. As long as they can sense that there's some timber or something like that somewhere, they will find a way of accessing it. Very, very crazy. So I'm really lucky and blessed that I'm in a location where termites are not very prevalent. Now, of course, there's some termites around, but I mean, in a few isolated places. There's places where termites are everywhere in the ground. As long as you dig somewhere and something like that, you're going to find termites. No, that's not the case with me over here. We don't have too many termites around, and that simply means that, you know, my trees that I do have around or the poles that I'm using can survive. Another thing is that if by any case a few insects or ants manage to get their way to the poles, all the poles are on the inside of the chicken house. And what that means is that the birds themselves, because birds eat insects, yeah? So maybe if one or two of the termites get in, then the birds are just going to pick them up. They're going to be easy pickings for the birds and they're going to eat them up, yeah? So that just simply means that termites for me is not a problem. And then finally, the third and final way that poles would be a problem is if they don't have the strength to support the weight of the structure. But I've been able, over the past years, from experience, to know that the poles are actually strong enough to support the structure. You guys can see from the side of the structure that we have quite a number of them. I mean, the spacing in between these two poles is like 2 meters, just 2 meters. That's it, nothing more than 2 meters. Yeah, so that simply means that we have quite a number of them placed over here just next to each other for them to be able to share the weight very equally amongst them. Yeah, that is number one. Again, you can see on the inside we do have a lot of poles, yeah, not just one. And another way that I do it is that in some places I place 2 poles, like actually not in some places, in all the places I place 2 poles, as you can see right here, both of them coming from the ground. You can see them, 2 poles, and the whole goal is that one of the poles is literally like the supporting thing of the structure, and then this other pole, the second one, is supporting the weight of the roof or of the upper floor. So you guys can see the upper floor, which is up there. Yeah, it's running on these, you know, poles that are running like this, and then there's other poles running all like this, and all that weight is supported not only on this pole, yeah, but it's also supported on this pole, yeah, because it just sits on top of it, as you guys can see, yeah. So then that way the weight is vertical, it's going in. The weight is not just in a nail. You guys can see a nail right there. Yeah, the weight is not just in a nail and on this pole. No, it's actually a vertical weight going through this pole, going into the ground, and that ensures that we have strong support, yeah, to support the weight of the structure. And so, yeah, I can guarantee that, you know, the weight is not too much on the poles themselves. Yeah, it is perfect weight. Now, after that, the third area of weakness would be the iron sheeting that you can see right there. So why do I use iron sheets? Why don't I build with bricks and walls all the way up? Guys, how do you think, or how long do you think iron sheets are rated to last? Yeah, iron sheetings, galvanized iron sheets like this are rated to last, you know, very many years, you know, 10, 20, sometimes even 30 years. Yeah, so they can last quite a number of years right here. Yeah, so I mean, in the end they could rust, but it's going to take a very, very long time before they do rust. So again, that's not something that I'm worried about. Yeah, they are cheap compared to using bricks and something like that, but I mean, they last a really long time, so why not use them? At least 20 years, at least 20 years inside here, but they could last even longer than that. Yeah, and then by the time we need to change them after 20 years, I would certainly have too much money that I could actually build these chicken houses using gold. Yeah, so that's not a worry, especially right now that, you know, money is an issue. If I'm thinking about, you know, I need to use money for this, I need to build the houses, I need to expand, I need to buy poultry feed. I told you guys about buying a truck, everything that we do need to use money to buy, then it doesn't make sense for me to, you know, be spending exorbitantly on something like a poultry house that in all honesty, the chickens don't care about. Yeah, as long as it's comfortable enough for them inside there. I mean, there's a concrete floor, rain is not hitting them, and it's well aerated. They're well and good. And that's what I'm putting my focus and attention on. And then another thing would be the mesh on the sides. Yeah, so I mean, this lower side, you're going to put an iron sheet coming from the ground, but over here we do have mesh. So you guys can see we have a chain link mesh, which is the bigger mesh that you see with these squares. This is 75 by 75 millimeters, and then on top of that we do have a PVC coated chicken mesh. So before I was using, you know, galvanized chicken mesh, just like you're seeing this, you know, this galvanized steel for the chain link. But then I noticed that for the chicken mesh, it rusts really, really quickly. So now I have decided to get, you know, PVC coated chicken mesh. Yeah, and I'm hoping this is certainly going to last much longer than the galvanized chicken mesh. So it's what we are using on the sides. Hopefully this won't be rusting like really, really quickly. Or the rubber that's on top of it, the PVC won't be able to get off really quickly. So I'm hoping that this is certainly going to last much longer. I know it will last much longer. And I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of poultry house you're using. If you're using a deep litter system like mine right here, you're going to have to leave open sides. So the chicken mesh and the wire mesh or the chain link, that is going to be, you know, a consistent thing. So generally speaking, as you guys can see, I mean, I have proper reasons for me to do this. And the main reason I build my chicken houses this way is because it's a proven system for me. Yeah, it's proven. At first, when I built my very first chicken house, I used bricks at the bottom and bricks, you know, significantly on the house. But then I found that later on, I found that there was no added advantage of me using the bricks over something else. I didn't see an added advantage. It was certainly just more expensive. In the meantime, there was no added advantage. Now, there would be an added advantage that the house would last really long. But then if I need to, you know, compare and weigh, you know, the house lasting really long and me growing the farm faster, I would go with growing the farm faster, because the house is probably going to last, you know, 15, 20 years. After 20 years, if the farm has grown and that's probably gotten to, you know, 20, 30,000 birds, then I do have the money to build with whatever material, and I can decide to just build, you know, its structure slowly by slowly up again and get it running, and, you know, I would have exactly what I want. But right now, it's more important that I actually do have money and funds available to me. And again, the chickens don't care about it. The chickens don't care about that. So I've been reiterating with every chicken house. I've been trying to get it better. I mean, with this chicken house, the one big difference that we're going to be using is the galvanized chicken wire. For the other houses, I haven't been using that. And I mean, over a short time, it already starts rusting. So it's something that I've already learned that I actually need to implement on this house. And it's what I'm going to be implementing. And it's already beautiful. It's already working out very beautifully for us. I'm certain that it's not going to rust. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to test it and see how it gets with time. This is one house right here. Maybe 4 or 5 months later, I'm going to build the second house right there. And yeah, we're going to be expanding the farm. Yeah, getting it beautifully, just enjoying what's happening around. I hope you guys are enjoying the video and you know, you're having a great time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash the notification bell. Catch you very soon with another video. Lots of love. Bye-bye.